Welcome, this is a story of two strange bedfellows, and most people wouldn't think they would get along together. What you're looking at here is the Nakamichi Dragon, which is arguably the best cassette deck ever made. And this is the Teac W-1200, which some people say is the biggest pile of crap ever made, and other people say it's pretty damn good. She will be making a guest appearance at the end, I'll say no more. The Tudor Type 1 is the main feature. This has been featured on my channel already, but not to be used with a dragon, so this is going to be interesting. I hope you can see my simile. They both purr and they're both feline. The dragon was supplied by a friend of the channel, and the tests were done in the normal way using my normal file. Starting at the beginning, we've got a wonderful white noise here at 0 dB, and the pink noise is looking beautiful, and the buff ting has never looked any better. On to the full-length trace, and you can see here that there's a very respectable looking Audacity trace as you're looking at the entire file there, but the sharp-eyed amongst you will notice there's a couple of differences. Namely, there and there, there and there, there, there and there. Because of the way they're spread out, that would indicate that the tape wasn't running smoothly over their heads, and we know the NAC's got a really good transport, so that must be the tape's fault. This dragon has been set up to be properly biased and optimised for this tape, so this is the best that it could do. As you can see, the silence is about minus 75 dB, which is okay. Then we got the minus 20 white noise is pretty good, and the pink noise is very good as well. Looking at the minus 20 dB 1 kHz, it's very nice. Then we look at the minus 20 dB sweep, that's really good. Look at that, up to 20 kHz. That really is a superb response. You can see it's almost flat all the way up. Next we look at the minus 23 kHz, and that's got a little bit of third harmonic distortion on it. And the 1 kHz at 0 dB, that's not good. And now we're going to look at the one that's overloaded, plus 2 dB, and you can see it's almost the same except it's gone furry. Just look at that again. There's one, there's the other, then back to the furry one again. So taking that in our stride, let's have a look at the 3 kHz at 0 dB, and well, that's furry as well. So that's not as good as the 1 kHz. Before we go any further, let's play Where We Want to Go by Patricos, Dynamic and Clean. I like that music, but that's not the best I've ever heard it. And yeah, so I'm not going to bother playing the one at minus 20 because it actually sounds very much the same. And you've heard that before. I've listened to this several times now using headphones and just using speakers. And I can tell you that this tape does not sing. It does not really come alive. It's pretty good. But if it sung, I'd give it one of these. And if it didn't, I'd give it one of these. But we'll just have to put up with giving it one of these. And I think I can show you why this is the problem and what it is about it. You may wonder what was missing. Well, this is what was missing, the 0 dB sweep. And if you look at it, it's, it goes up to 20 kilohertz. But look at the levels there. They're not very good. You got a big drop round about the, what does that say there? It says between the 12 and 14K. Then you got a rise. 15, 16, 17, well no, 15, 16, then you've got to drop again afterwards. When you compare that to the original minus 20 dB sweep, you can see why I'm saying it's awful. But have you noticed something else? There's all these little spikes in between the main spikes, and they are some form of distortion. They shouldn't be there, and you must be able to hear them because they're not that far down from the original signal. And that is not the deck's fault, because it must be the tape's fault. Do you remember this little lady and what I said about it making a guest appearance? Well, let's have a quick look. I'm not going to go too far into too much detail, but let's just have a quick look and see where the differences are and where the similarities are, because people say that there's Well, I reckon that when people say a good deck can make a bad tape sound good, they're wrong. What they really mean is, and I shall show you here, and I shall tell you what I mean, what I think they mean at the end. So the top trace is the 1200 and the bottom trace is the Dragon, and you can see there's only 1 dB in it on the silence, and I don't see a great deal of difference in those traces. Nothing you're going to be able to make anything out of. So next we've got the -20 sweep, and you can see here the Dragon makes a really good job of that, but the W-1200 is not doing that bad. Gets up to 17k. But there we go. Next we have the 1 kHz overdriven signal, which the W-1200 managed to get up to 3 dB, but the Dragon only managed to get it up to 2 dB. But it's not a pretty sight on either of them. Talking about pretty sights, look at this. This is coming up now is the pink noise. Obviously 1200 at the top. And they look pretty much the same to me. Pretty good. Very nice, in fact. Now we're going to look finally at the 0 dB sweep. And this one is going to be interesting because you can see all the peaks and things which are on the Dragon but not on the W-1200. So, you know, what does that mean? Yes, well, there you can see it. And what I think they really mean is a good tape will make a good deck sound wonderful. A good tape will make a not so good deck sound okay. But a bad tape will make a good deck sound not very good at all. What's the point of buying a good deck and then putting rubbishy tapes in it? Then saying, oh, it's all right, I've got a knob I can twiddle, makes a good tape out of a bad tape. No, I think this proves categorically that if you've got a problem with a tape, if a tape isn't very good, it will be the same on a high-end deck or a middle-end deck or a low-end deck, because the tape is what the tape is, and this is it. If you've got any value out of my channel, please do like and subscribe. It would be useful for me. And in the meantime, let's see, this video you might find is quite useful. It's there. No, it's not. It's wherever it is, go and click on it. And don't forget, life need not be complicated, so let's keep it simple.